This week's txtNation is all about the Ultrabook.
It's Ultra.
Hi and welcome to txtNationTV. My name is Rusty G.
I'm Alan.
And this week it's episode number 37, and like I said, it's all about the Ultrabooks. Not this big fat guy that's, weighing. It's not this small little guy that's the iPad. It's somewhere in between. Yeah. Some of us still want to have the capability of having a full-on keyboard with touchpad of some sort. Yeah. Still be able to, power on some of our applications that we're running, Photoshop, audio editing, and things of that sort. It's the Ultrabook, in which actually it wasn't called the Ultrabook before. I think that name got coined shortly after the MacBook Air. Yeah. Because the MacBook Air obviously didn't coin that name because
they would have came up with something better.
Exactly. So I mean, beforehand it was netbooks. That obviously didn't work out. You obviously have a relic sitting around the house.
Yeah, it's a paperweight now. It's a Dell, and Nokia brought out one that was really cool because Nokia. Was that the first computer Nokia brought out? I mean,
it may have been. I'm not too keen on the Nokia stuff.
It was like they were out of the news for a while because they were kind of lagging behind in the smartphone race and everything, and all of a sudden, bam! I think I saw it on Dignation actually. Did Alex have it?
I'm not 100% sure on that one. I have to go back and look.
Yeah, I think he did because Kevin always had the Mac stuff, but it had the HDMI port, which was really cool, and I wanted one for that, but it was $999 when it was introduced, and that's just way too much.
Right.
So I got a gift the Dell one gifted to me, which had an HDMI port. Did it do anything? No. I think Dell just rushed it together and sent it out with not even putting correct drivers in, or I don't even think the HDMI was even connected.
Yeah, because we've tried connecting that poor thing up so many times, so many different ways, different things. It never worked. But yeah, so that poor little thing.
It's a piece of history.
Just like the Newton. But yeah, so we're going to start off with the MacBook Air, which we don't have. Neither one of us, I will say this, we don't own any of these Ultrabooks. This is based upon reviews and internet things that we've read, so I apologize we don't have any of this in hand to show you. But we're going to start out with the granddaddy of them all, who started the whole thing.
Yes.
The MacBook Air.
The MacBook Air.
And that would be you, because I am not a Mac guy.
Well, ever since Steve Jobs pulled out that manila envelope, I mean, even you, not a Mac guy, was like, I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah, I
gotta get me one of those.
Yeah.
And it's been, how many years has it been?
It's probably a good 3 or 4 years now. Yeah.
And it's still the top one to have.
Yeah. I mean, the design quality, everything. It's that unibody design, the solid state hard drive, the instant on, the battery life. Yeah. All of that.
And it's like you were saying before, you still want the ability to have pretty much a full running laptop.
Right.
And what the Ultrabooks did is, because netbooks were 8-inch to 10-inch, and that was it. You really couldn't go any higher, except for, I think, Sony may have made a 13. They also made like a 5.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was a weird one. But either way, so Apple brought out an 11-inch and a 13-inch.
Right.
But still thinner than any netbook out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what attracted most people. Well, that, and it was solid state, so more memory than, and a lot faster than netbooks.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It's just, it's pretty much better than any netbook there was. So
yeah, because when you pull it out of a manila envelope, you killed everybody. You just killed everybody.
It was only 0.68 of an inch thick, which was like the thinnest thing out at that time.
Right.
You go from 64 gigs all the way up to 256 gigs of storage.
Right.
Running dual core processors.
Talking i5s and i7s.
Yeah.
Right.
There's even Ultrabooks that aren't running dual core processors right now.
Right.
Let's see. The memory was 2 to 4 DDR3, which is pretty standard right now. Yeah. Battery life 5 to 7 hours, which is better than
this laptop barely gets 2 hours.
Yeah, it's better than any netbook, really.
Yeah.
Except for Asus had a netbook that had like an 8-hour battery.
Right.
That was pretty much it. But the drawbacks, you want the Apple logo, you got to pay the Apple price.
Right.
Prices started at $1,000 on up to $1,600, and those prices are still the same today.
And they haven't changed a bit. No. The only thing they've done is I think the first one they kind of rounded the back. And it was like a fat round butt almost. Yeah. And now they've actually kind of honed it down a little bit, and there's less of that and more of a nice shaped end. to where it's not so bubbly.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to the tapered.
Yeah.
look.
Which brings me to the next one. The one that came out shortly after this, which was, and I say shortly, but it was almost a year later, almost a year and a half later, Samsung Series 9. This was the Windows answer, basically, or Samsung's answer, being the fact they can't carry the Mac software, so we'll say Windows/Samsung answer. This is the Samsung Series 9. Came with Duralem, which made it very light, made it very strong, and it was an all-metal body, just what like the MacBook Air was, or actually still is, I should say. They wanted to sell you on this brightness of the screen, which Samsung, no matter what product it is,
It's good looking.
it's good looking. Cell phones, laptops, TVs. I seriously, take a look at any Samsung device that has some sort of display. I'm sure it kills every other display out there. And the fact that they're going to these AMOLED and also the newest one, I can't think for the life of me what it is. But you know, it's the display that gets me every time. I have yet to see one in hand, so if you have, leave comments below. Let us know what you think. But that's what they're trying to sell you on. You're also getting a 128 gigabyte hard drive as well. Another thing they wanted to sell you on was the quick startup, the instant on type thing. They're saying 3 seconds for their fast start. So I'm sure that's from sleep to open up, not a full shutdown, which most of us don't put shutdown because unfortunately the iPad, the iPhone, and the iPod Touch has gotten us very, I want it on now.
Yeah.
Because when I'm having to shut this thing down, put it in my bag, blah, blah, come back a few hours later, and come back up, it takes forever to come back up because it's like it's still a moving hard drive, not a solid state. Whereas iPad, iPhone, all that, whoop.
My 2003 MacBook Pro still only takes like 7 seconds.
Oh, you're killing me.
From power on to ready to go.
You're killing me. But anyway, so yeah, we're talking long life battery as well. 7 hours on this one. Comes with a 3-year warranty from Samsung. But the problem is here is their prices range anywhere from like $1,200 on up to $1,600.
Yeah.
And they don't have that low end 1,000, which 1,000 is still kind of high for me because I only paid like $560 for this one. So that's the only thing is it's still, you're talking $1,000 or more for this. So check it out though, Samsung Series 9. It's still one of my favorites and one of the first that were out there right after, you know, a year after Apple introduced the MacBook. So
And if you got one, send us a reply video of it in action.
I've never seen
here
one.
in the state of Tennessee, at least, we can't find one anywhere. Best Buy or no electronics
Office
store
Max,
or anything.
Staples.
So yeah, it's like a rare white elk, as Lewis Black would say. So if you find one, send us a video reply. We'd love to see one in action. Well, I was knocking Dell in the beginning, but they've really come through with this one. The XPS 13. Like the other ones, it's got that great metal case, but this one, you flip it over, it's got carbon fiber.
Right.
That's what's on Lamborghinis and Porsches, and you know, on pretty much every high-end automobile now is carbon fiber. And not only for looks, that also offers a cooling feature.
Right.
You don't get burned as much as with carbon fiber because it's just a cooling metal.
Right.
Or cooling element, sorry, that won't heat your legs up like some of the others will.
Like mine is right now.
Exactly. It's 1.8 millimeters thick in the back, and then it tapers down to a 6. So thin, good looking. Only 2.9 some pounds. Not heavy at all. The storage on that one, 128 to 256, like
same thing.
Same
We're
thing. Like
pretty much looking at all the same,
Yeah.
same hard drives.
Core i5, i7, but they have Turbo Boost.
What is Turbo Boost?
You know what? No idea. But they put it in big letters. We have the Core i5, i7 with Turbo Boost.
Now, are they the ones that also said that we stuck a 14-inch? No, I think that's one later down the road. We'll talk about. But but
what they have though is glass-to-glass display.
Right. So
with Gorilla Glass.
Right.
So if you have iPhone or iPad, it's Gorilla Glass. You know that's good stuff that takes a lot to scratch.
But for those of you who know what Gorilla Glass really means, I can still drop it on the corner and it still shatters.
Well, like any tempered glass, yeah. You can smack it in the front with a hammer, it's okay. But if you wind blows it through the side, it's just gone. But it's side-to-side display, so
yeah.
Even though it's still the same 13 by 13, just not having borders makes it seem bigger.
Yeah, I really do think that either this one or maybe one of these others I'm about to. I'll be honest with you. Almost any one of these PC sides of the Ultra notebooks I would take in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because I could leave this big monstrosity here at the apartment and take off with my Ultrabook and, click on and I'm good to go and last for, 5 hours. So.
Price on this one is also over $1,000 right now, $11.99. Maybe on Amazon, I think I saw one for $9.99.
Well, I was going to say it is $9.99 right now if you get it directly through Dell, but get this, I don't like you for this, Dell. The $9.99 price includes a T-Mobile hotspot with their 4G. And I say 4G because it's not real 4G, it's HSPDA Plus or whatever that is, HSPDA Plus. I hate to tell you this, T-Mobile, I don't care what your commercials say, and I don't care how sexy Carly Fauske looks in a new commercial in black leather. You're still slower than everybody else. Quit lying to everybody. That's just a side note. But we actually went this past weekend to one of our local Best Buy stores. We actually have one of the ones of the 50 that are closing. So we went and looked. We went and looked and saw this notebook here, the Asus ZenBook. This is great. I love it.
Very good looking.
All metal body, again, and I'm going to go with Alan here. He said this a few minutes ago. It should have been the Asus Blade, because if you pick the thing up, you could cut somebody.
It's got sharp edges.
It does. It's not kid friendly, I can tell you that. But it is light. It's very, it's slim to the touch. We're talking, again, 128 gigabyte hard drive. You've got the i5s, the i7s, depending on which one that you want, how much you want to pay. We're talking over $1,000 in pricing, anywhere between $1,100 and I think it's same thing, $1,400, somewhere in that range. But they've got the 7-hour battery life just as well, just like they're wanting to talk with everybody else. That's the thing, is the battery life and the display, which the display on this one I wasn't too keen with, but just the overall style, the body is what got me. Because if you notice, I like the fake aluminum look. I know this isn't real aluminum, but I like that look.
The Asus is real aluminum all the way.
Yeah, I mean the entire thing. So I like the look.
Even the keys.
I didn't even notice that, and you made my page go do something. I don't even know what it's doing. But no, the Asus, you got your Actually, they even have an option for an i3 as well if you want to step down just a little bit. We're talking same size as the MacBook Air, 11.6 and a 13.3. So, and theirs is talking 2 seconds on always resume, or as they call it, always resume in 2 seconds. So they've got Bluetooth 4.0, which the only other device I know has Bluetooth 4.0 is the iPhone 4S, which if you don't know anything about Bluetooth, the most common one right now is 2.1. 3 is out, but it's not being used that much. 4 is the next one. It's supposed to be that low power, real low use. Basically, it turns itself off when it's not in use, even though you have it on. But if it comes back on, it comes back up fairly quickly. So that's pretty cool. I'll tell you this. I want one. I almost want, if someone would just sponsor the show and just buy us each one, it'd be great. Just saying. So.
You can just buy a rusty one. We're not trying to break anybody.
So tell us about the next one, though. Tell us about the next PC Ultrabook.
PC Ultrabook.
Well, because none of them are Macs. So anyway.
All right, this one I could pass on. Not really for me, but we'll give it its praise as well. Toshiba Protege Z830E, I think is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's got a 13.3 screen, just like the rest of them.
Just say Protege, by the way. Just say Protege.
This one's a little thicker. It's 0.63 of an inch. It's not tapered. It's all the way across, about 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Same Core i5, 4 gigs, 8-hour battery life. Yeah.
It looks plasticky. We touched it again. This is one that we picked up right next to the Asus this weekend.
Yeah, it's got a backlit display like the rest of them do.
Backlit keyboard as well.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I could pass on this one.
Yeah.
It starts at $8.99, so it's on the lower end, and I think that's the reason how they got into the lower end was because it just doesn't look top notch. Yeah. They went good on some things like the backlit keyboard, and maybe I don't know. Again, with the screen, the thing catches my eye with the screen. And that's the reason why I always go back to the Samsung.
Yeah,
I've seen the MacBook Airs. Those are beautiful screens as well. That's the thing, is those two, I see the screen and I'm just like, just give me the computer right now. So yeah, I'm with you on the Toshiba. We're not going to spend too much time on that, but
It's an Ultrabook. It's out there.
Yeah, exactly. The last one that we want to talk about, I think, is the last one. Do we have any other ones besides the Envy?
No, the Envy is.
All right. Well, this is the newest one. Just came out fairly recently. Actually, I think the Envy came out right before the XPS 13 or both of these are really close. The HP Envy 14 Spectre series. This is the one that they take a 13.3-inch body and stick a 14-inch screen in there. So that's another one of those where it's glass-to-glass edge, screen type things. It's the typical HP styling, as it were, right now. It's got the aluminum, much like what I've got here, and then the black top for the surrounding of it, but it's less of the panel and more of the glass that you see. It's got a lot more ports than most of the other ones do, because most of the other ones have one or two USB things. Obviously, no CD-ROM, because we're not using those anymore. Nobody really needs those anymore. Yeah. Everybody's using USB thumb drives or cloud, as it were. The only thing that this one has, and I'm not gonna say above the others, it's just another add-on feature for them to be able to sell it, because this one has the same feature on Beats Audio. What are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? You're making it another $7,500 because you put Beats Audio on there. I'm sorry, Dr. Dre, but on a computer speaker, not the same. Now, I will say the headphones, completely different. If I had $500 to buy the headphones, I'd probably buy the headphones. But on the computer, really all it's doing is bringing in some of your low ends and more bass and things like that to make it sound richer. Because when you turn the audio off, you'll never be able to hear this on camera. You have to see it and hear it for yourself. You'll hear really high ends, your high ends and mids is where you're here. Then when you put the Beats Audio on, it just brings it down, and you can hear more bass and more beats and things like that. So that's where the Beats Audio thing comes in. I don't think it's really worth it. It still pretty much looks the same as all your HPs, all that have that little logo down here at the bottom now. Is it aluminum on this one? I don't remember if it was aluminum or not. But it's still the same 13.3-inch screen, like I said, a Core i5, Core i7, 128 gigabyte hard drive. Got the HD resolution as the rest of them do. It's going to come with all the HP software. I mean, we're basically looking at all the same things. They all have the HDMI, 128 to 256 with 4 gigs. And another thing that HP does, though, they go up to 8 gigs of RAM for memory on this one. So
also 9 hours of battery life on that one.
That's another thing. HP, as far as specs is concerned, seems to be the best answer to the MacBook Air.
But you're going to pay for those specs.
Exactly. So pay attention, though. Just kind of look at those. See what you think. Leave comments below if you happen to have one, or would like to share one with us, or would like to sponsor the show and get me one, because that would be great.
So which one are you choosing?
I'm going to go with my classic. Well, we'll see after touching the Asus this weekend. I'm going to say it's a tie between the Samsung Series 9, which was my original first favorite love right after the MacBook Air, and now this Asus ZenBook. Because that ZenBook, man, I picked that thing up and I was just like, you could cut somebody with that, And it had the nice metal design that spiraled out from the middle. If you watch any of the commercials or anything, you'll see it. It basically has that circled aluminum, or as the British people say, aluminium for some odd reason. And it looks kind of cool when you're walking with it. It's real light, real thin. They all have the USB 3, I think, at least one, and then a USB 2 on the other side, or maybe they have all USB 3. But I'm going to say it's a tie. How about you? If you had a choice, don't say MacBook Air, because I'm going to hurt you.
It's going to be MacBook Air. Just coming to use Macs now.
How long have you been using that Mac now? Because I know you made the switch sometime last year.
Yeah, going on 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
But just going from operating system, then I go to work on a Windows Dell that just
it's
terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my Windows is at work. So that's what we're going from is like OS 10, Windows XP.
Yeah, true. And the sad part about it is XP, get this, side note, XP has been extended probably again by Microsoft. You know what got cut off the other day? Windows Vista. Yeah.
It's better than Vista.
They cut off Vista. Are you kidding me? They're still going to support XP for another 5 or 6 months or something, and they're cutting off Vista. Why not cut off XP and Vista and just stick with 7 and make everybody go? Because we're about to reach Windows 8 time. I mean, everybody's so mad about the whole start button. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people are mad about this whole start button missing thing. But, I mean, that's the way it's going, folks. If you don't have a desktop or a power laptop, the idea is to go to an iPad or a tablet of some sort. So,
or that Samsung Note.
You and that Note. He picked one of those things up this weekend. And
it's a Samsung.
It is. I tell you, that screen, though, that screen is amazing. There's not a Samsung that I can pick up except for my mother's Samsung Strive, and if you know anything about that, yeah, that's the picture of the Strive right there. Yeah, no. I finally talked her into getting an iPhone.
Yeah, because why?
So, thank you. I've gone geoed on making the Busy Mom video because I showed my mom this video that you guys released on the Kickstarter project, which is now over with. If you have not bought, too late. I'm sorry, you're out. But Kickstarter project about the Geode with the, it's not an iWallet. I think it's just called Geode e-wallet or something like that.
Geode wallet.
Okay, so the Geode wallet. So I show my mom the video about where the lady takes all of her credit cards and goes, whoosh, just one. And it's black. You know, makes her look like she's all important. Yeah, Mom was like, I want one of those. So I told her this. I said, I'll get it for you for Mother's Day, but you have to have an iPhone. It will not work with any other phone. iPhone 4 or iPhone 4S, one of the two. I said, I will buy you either the phone or the case. Whichever you care, I'll buy it. That'll be your Mother's Day gift. We're done, but you have to get the other to make it work. She said, all right.
You lucked out.
Yeah, I didn't have to buy both of them. So, yeah, my mom's finally joining the smartphone world, getting away from the Samsung Strive, which is good. So, all those text messages that go back and forth with all her iPhone people friends. So, she was just tired of not being able to have internet access as far as a full web browser, you know. So, next thing you know, she'll be wanting to steal my first-gen iPad. So, we'll see how that goes.
But thank you, iCash, for a great product. Hopefully, you will have more coming, and we'll definitely support whatever you bring out.
Exactly. Make sure you follow us online. This is the end of the episode, and this is where we tell you how to follow us. Make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/txtNationTV.
Add us at Twitter at txtNationTV.
You can subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/txtNationTV.
And, of course, txtnation.tv. Also, I've set up a Pinterest/txtNationTV. Don't tell Rusty.
Yeah, I'll never touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't happen. Right now, I'm still working on txtNation.tv. I'm actually going through some redesign thoughts that him and I are going to go over. We have some ideas of making a whole new redesign because I have somehow messed up the WordPress install, and now I get nothing but a blank page when I log in and can't add anything to it. But also, don't forget, for those of you on the Google Plus side of things, Google Plus is gplus.to/txtNationTV. That's it. We'll see you again next week. And stay tuned for a Text Nation Text Minute.